So today I'm going to talk about the weekly update, which I usually don't do, but I'm going to try this format at least for this month, see how it goes. Trying to publish in the same day to tell you about what I've been reading and what I read, a couple of small reviews. In terms of books that I received 2 books. One was King of Shadows by Robert McMahon. This is a Leviathan press, as you can see there. I've got all of my collection there. This one is it was in the second hand, so not original, not from the company, but second hand, but it's in very good conditions. I had this book already in paperback, but this was very beautiful and kind of cheap. It cost me around 50 euros, pounds, and it's signed by the author. It's number 502, and it has a lot of some interior illustrations. I believe there are 6 or 7 interior illustrations, like so. And this is a novel set in the Robert McMahon series that he's been publishing. I believe this is the seventh book, being the other one I have, which is the 7 Shades of Evil. It's the 8th book, and now they are going to publish the 9th book. I think it's called Leviathan or something like that. So this one was the first book I received. The second book that I've received was the first novel in the Lord of a Shattered Land by Howard Andrew Jones, The Chronicles Anovar, book 1. I already had book 2, so they are very acclaimed in the book community, and I always want this kind of interesting mix of fantasy, sword and sorcery and so on, so I thought it was a good idea to grab them. The third one is going to be published this year, and looking at this publishing rate, I believe the next ones are going to be published in the next few years. So, in terms of books that I finished reading 3 books. One was Hunger by Jeremy Romson. Okay, not the complete set. I've read only the first novel, so this is a trilogy omnibus edition. The first one is called Hunger, and it was very fast-paced, post-apocalyptic, or not horror, but more thriller novel, where basically there was a kind of discovery to have more food, to have more well-developed kind of food growth, but unfortunately that brought some stuff when people eat it, or where animals eat it brought anomalies. Basically, it triggered evolution on people, and the evolution is not always good. So basically, you've got now bigger animals. You've got now humankind has regressed a bit, but it's now more powerful. So basically, imagine that you have like evolution in terms of a million years in a couple of years or a couple of months. That's how it's explained here. And in this tale we follow 4 characters, 2 in the beginning, and then getting more to characters trying to go from one place of America to the east coast to the western coast. So basically going straight for all of this nightmarish hellscape. And this is a good novel, sincerely. there are some stuff that I didn't enjoy, but I believe that's the problem with most thrillers, that the main character is overpowerful, almost knows it all, and sometimes it upsets me that these characters are all good with no bad qualities, if you may, or they are either totally bad or totally good. And you know what I mean. So, and sometimes in thrillers that happens, and here it happened. But since it's a short novel, I endure it, and I'm going to continue. Probably not in the next month. Trying to maybe read in a couple of months. The next one, I'm going to read another novel by him, but probably not this one. But it's a good, if you like post-apocalyptic stuff and with monsters of the week kind of stuff there, I think you will enjoy it. And the plot itself is interesting, the characters are interesting, and their connection and so on. So I would advise it. In terms of books that I read as well, I read Asurmen, Hand of Azurian, and this one was very short, 200 pages or so, 260 pages, yeah. And basically, this novel we follow, this guy, Asurmen, which is a Phoenix Lord, the most important one, the initial one. And in this novel we have two timelines. The first timeline, it's happening now. I don't know when now is, because they are never told us, but it's now. And then we have flashbacks where Asurmen was created, or was not created, but was basically we found out the person behind Asurmen. So before those the fall of Eldar, and how the Eldar were created, the new Eldar society. Unfortunately, the first part was not that interesting, to be honest. I didn't enjoy as much. The timelines, the first timeline, the timeline of today, I didn't enjoy as much. Timeline of the past, I enjoyed more. But I enjoy Asurmen, the character itself. The other characters were not that interesting, whereas like a mother trying to, in the path of trying to discover herself. So if you are a fan of Eldars, if you are a fan of Warhammer 40k, probably this is a good novel to start, but there are some words, some stuff that you may want to know a bit more about the Eldar, the past of the Eldar, the society of how they are constituted, the very types of troops they have, and so on. But I don't think that's totally necessary. Although I know a lot of Eldar. I know a lot of Warhammer 40k. Some stuff I don't know. I had to discover it via internet, and that enhanced my knowledge. But yeah, it was an enjoyable book. I have the second one to read, the Zainzar. I think that in the beginning it was supposed to be one for each Phoenix Lord, but probably it didn't sell as much or sell as good, so they stick with the two first. Gav Thorpe is a writer that writes a lot of perspectives of aliens from Warhammer 40k. He wrote the three first parts of Warriors, Seer, and Outcasts. The part of the Dark Eldar was by Andy Chambers, but whatever. And he wrote Valador, and the Last Days of Hector, which is Last of Hector is probably one of my favorite novels of all time in terms of Warhammer 40k. And he wrote some other stuff related to aliens. Now he's going to write the book about the new species that's going to. Okay, it's appeared last year or so. They are like, I don't know their name, the resting, but I like imagine they are space dwarfs. Yeah, so that's it. That's my. I wouldn't recommend starting with this novel. Now you've got to the third novel I've read. I finished yesterday was Cypher, Lord of the Fallen by John French, and this was a very very good novel. Cypher is one of my favorite characters of all time. It's one of the most enigmatic characters that you can find in this world. He's been around since 30,000, since heresy, the Horus heresy. The Dark Angels are had a civil war, and some of the Dark Angels escape Caliban and became like renegades. They called them Fallen. And then we have the Dark Eldar, which is a normal Space Marine chapter, although they have like one faction within the Space Marines, where their only goal is to find the fallen ones. So basically, they have that task. Ravenwing, I believe. I don't know. To be honest, I may be confusing the terms, but yes, they have like a company dedicated for that. And so this tale basically we have Cypher on Earth trying to meet the Emperor, and we don't know what is his goal, but now we have like two factions going against him. One, it's the Dark Angels that are arriving on Earth and trying to capture Cypher and all other fallen angels that are accompanying him, and we have like the jailer, which is a custodian that is trying to find what is his goal, what is Cypher goal. It was a very interesting story about Dark Angels, and you get to know how far they are willing to go to eliminate all thoughts of heresy they have within their chapter, and you get the feeling that not everything is like you expect. Like, for example, are really Dark Angels good guys? Or because going to Terra, killing a lot of people there just so they can find the fallen angel and remove them and extract him, just to eliminate that part, because they are very ashamed of the fall Dark Angels. Question is, maybe they are not that good, or I don't know. It's a topic that is very interesting to learn, to read, and I believe they have more books that I'm going to read about them, because it's very interesting topic. Cypher, amazing. He's telling the tale, although I find it interesting that some of the plot, more than half the plot, is not him talking. It's like he's always telling the tale, but stuff that he is not even there, so how you know what happened. And the other thing I enjoyed was the politics here, and between the custodians, the assassinatorum that are involved here, the Dark Angels, and you get to see the difference between power of all of these factions and how powerful these custodians are, and how powerful they are. Okay, Space Marines are like children compared to them, and there's a battle where you get to see them in action, and a single custodian killed 6 Dark Angels, and we are talking about the most veteran ones. So we are not talking about normal Space Marines and normal. I say normal because they are not normal, but imagine the top regiment, the top company being killed so easily by a custodian. It's amazing. They get to see a lot of cypher and what he thinks about it. It's very, very cool. I really enjoyed this novel. John French, top writer. I've put him some notes of things that I enjoyed. I'm going to put him on Goodreads, and he really thinks a lot of. He put some ideas in cypher about the world that we know, and it's amazing. I really enjoyed. I would advise to anyone. Top one so far, top of this month, and now we are going to continue reading this next week. The first one I'm going to grab, it's going to be Dead World. This is going to start today. Let's see how far I can get and what I'm going to read next. I've got a lot of Warhammer stuff to read this month. So thank you all. Have a nice day.